The first thing that entered the ambassador's nostrils was the disgusting smell of sulfur and decay. Fortunately for his guards, they all had masks on their faces, which made the smell less invasive. The ruins in the large space resembled something out of a medieval fantasy. The high guard stood on both sides of the large room, clad in armor and radiating a frightening aura. Unable to read his expression, the ambassador's best guess was that it was a combination of anger and impatience, maybe even boredom. They walked down an old red carpet, likely pillaged from some king's chamber in another world. As they drew closer, the figure, best described as resembling Sauron from J.R.R. Tolkien's book, lifted his head and measured up the diplomatic party. "I must say that your accommodation is quite spacious," said the ambassador, nervously fiddling with his hands. "What do you want?" A deep, resonant roar left the metal helmet of the Sauron-like figure. "We are here to conduct diplomatic negotiations." "We want a truce," the ambassador said more convincingly this time. "You demand a truce from me, the Dark Lord?" The demon said it with a smile on his face. "It is so funny to laugh at you people sometimes, but I must tell you your army is very strong. However, now that I have eliminated them, you are not qualified to ask for peace. The only reason I let you in is out of curiosity. Out of all the worlds I've burned, this one is the funniest. Hear us out." "We are," the ambassador started before he was cut off. "You can't do it. I will burn this world down, just as I have done to countless others. Your army is weakened by its size. I can tell you have a limited population to replenish your ranks with. Your technology and weapons mean nothing if you have no men to use them. My entire world will attack you." The ambassador looked at his guards, who were now on high alert. He cleared his throat and began to speak again. "Dark Lord, what you call yourself is wrong. We can argue all day, but the armies you speak of? They weren't armies, they were scouts." The demon, leaning on his throne, said, "Scouts? Then the real battle will soon begin, and your army will be crushed. If necessary, I will send hundreds of thousands to destroy them. Even if you kill them all, I will send thousands more." The ambassador raised his eyebrows, then reached into his inside pocket and pulled out a piece of paper. He opened it and looked at its contents. "I will read only a portion of the Global Alliance Order that was issued yesterday." The ambassador cleared his throat again and began to read. Due to new knowledge of other dimensions, a general mobilization order was issued on March 30, 2054. Each coalition nation must supply weapons, vehicles, and manpower to liberate coalition territory. The ambassador folded the piece of paper and put it back in his pocket. "In other words, Mr. Dark Lord, the entire planet wants to destroy you. An intelligence group of 10,000 people is nothing. According to our estimates, your casualties are indeed much higher, around 250,000. The reconnaissance team was overwhelmed, and unfortunately, reinforcements did not arrive in time. Now, let me give you some statistics. The United States will provide 200,000 troops, Great Britain 50,000, Russia 100,000, Germany 20,000, France 30,000, China 150,000, and Italy 100,000, along with 56,000 tanks and armored vehicles receiving full air support. This does not include the mobilization of troops, which is estimated to be in the millions. We are able to arm approximately 50 million men and women for battle, but this number will increase significantly in the coming months." The demon looked at them in silence. After a while, a small creature like a fairy burst into the room and rushed toward the throne. My lord, it shouted in a high-pitched voice. "What? How dare you break in?" The demon growled. The little goblin knelt down and held out its hands. "Your Majesty, I apologize, but this information is very, very important." The demon laughed, rose from his throne, grabbed the letter, and opened it. He read it silently. "How is that possible?" the demon cried out, tearing the letter in half. He kicked the small goblin creature, sending it flying back at least 10 meters. "You!" the demon exclaimed, glaring at the ambassador. How? How did you do it?" For the first time, the demon's voice took on a note of fear and weariness. "Oh, I forgot to mention, our nukes are also on high alert. Your camp on the other side of the portal just got a taste of human shock warfare. Power of the hydrogen bomb cannot be underestimated. I will give you a fair warning. This marks the beginning of the operation. The leaders of the world were listening in on this conversation and reached a unanimous conclusion. The ambassador smiled and said, I apologize, but I must go now. This place is becoming a battlefield, and I will not obstruct our artillery. The ambassador turned and started to leave. You'll pay for this, human. You'll pay with your soul. The demon roared. The ambassador stopped and turned his head. He smiled and said, Welcome to Earth, then turned and walked out, leaving the demon lord silent.